Welcome to the device training for the Yealink T series office phones. Apart from the display and line keys, phones in this series are functionally identical, but this video will show the T54W device. First off, we start in the middle of the phone with the dial pad. This is where you enter any numerical input, such as phone numbers. This is also where I tell you about the dialing pattern. With this system, you do not need to dial a 9 to get an outside line, but it will presume 10-digit dialing. That means you will want to enter the area code as well as the number whenever you call outside the network, just like you do with a cellular phone. The nice part about a cloud-based phone system like this one is there is no such thing as domestic long distance. You do not have to dial a 1 before you make a long distance call, and you aren't billed extra for calls within the continental US. If you must call a number that is less than 10 digits, such as an internal extension, you may notice the phone will pause, waiting for other digits to come. You can force the phone to dial the shortened number by pressing the pound key after you have entered the digits. On the right-hand side of the phone are conversation mode keys. These can be used on the call to change how you interact with the other party. We have the mute key, which will indicate on the screen when the brilliant things you are saying cannot be heard by the other party. At the bottom is the speakerphone key. It will toggle speakerphone mode. Get too far to the side or behind the phone and it will struggle to pick up your voice. Finally, if you have a headset attached to your phone, the headset key will move your calls through it. To perform almost every function with these devices, you can use the context-sensitive soft keys at the top. We will talk more about these later, but there are 3 functions that are so common and so important that Yealink has included them as hard keys on the side of the dial pad. With an icon that looks like a phone pointing at another phone is the transfer key. We will discuss this further in a moment. Above this and to the left with an icon that looks like an envelope is the voicemail key. And finally, with an icon that looks like a phone next to a pause symbol is the hold key. With this phone system, you can manage multiple calls. To place a call on hold, you can press the hold hard key or the soft key at the top that is labeled hold. When a call is on hold, information about that held call appears in the display. It will show you caller ID information as well as the amount of time the call has spent on hold. You can manage up to 3 concurrent calls with these devices, so your display may show more than one call. To toggle between multiple calls, use the navigation key on the right. To resume the call, you can press the hold key again. This makes the selected held call your active call. There is no time limit to restrict how long you can keep someone on hold. So while it is not good customer service to leave someone listening to your hold music until they hang up, the system will allow it. To set up voicemail the first time, press the envelope hard key. The IVR system will walk you through the setup process, performing tasks such as setting a PIN, recording your name, and then providing options for customizing outgoing messages. The setup process only takes a few minutes. The message waiting indicator is a red light at the top of the phone. Its blinking will let you know you have new messages. To retrieve the messages, simply press the envelope key again and follow the audio prompts. The voicemail system has about 20 minutes of recording capability, so it is important to delete messages you no longer need by pressing the 7 key. This will help ensure you have sufficient space to record new incoming messages. To transfer an active call to another party, you can use the soft key labeled transfer, or you can use the hard key located on the right. A consultative transfer is the default mode. This is sometimes called an announced transfer or a warm transfer and will allow you to talk to the transferee before sending the call over. While on the active call, press the transfer key. This places the call on a transfer hold, so it is not necessary to place the caller on hold before the transfer. Next, use the dial pad to enter the extension where you would like to transfer, and then press send or the pound key. At this point, the other line begins to ring, and when that person picks up, you can have a conversation with them. Your caller, by the way, is still on hold. Announce the caller, and when the other party is ready for the transfer, press transfer again, making the call on hold the new active call for the recipient. You can also do a blind transfer, which is also called a cold transfer. To do this, hit the transfer key, dial the extension, and then press the transfer key again. This way you don't have to announce the caller at all, and it just goes to the next party. During the transfer, you have a couple of options. Pressing cancel will take the call back, making it your active call again. This is useful if the party you are trying to reach cannot or will not take the call. You can also transfer directly to voicemail by dialing *55 and then following the audio prompts to enter the extension of the voicemail that you are trying to reach. These phones also have a redial button. This button will take you into your placed calls within your call history. From here, you will be able to scroll to the phone number you would like to redial and then press the green Call soft key. Let's talk about the last few buttons on this phone. The navigation key, which we have talked about already, allows you to interact with the menus and options on the display screen. You can press up, down, left, and right, and select with the center button. And finally, the soft keys are at the bottom of the display. These 4 context-sensitive controls allow you to do almost everything with the phone. Transfer, holds, access personal directories, view your call log, it's all there. Most of the soft keys are fairly self-explanatory, but there are 2 in particular that I like to cover. D&D, also known as Dungeons & Dragons, or in this case Do Not Disturb, is a button visible when the phone is in an idle state. It places your phone in a mode when incoming calls are routed as if you were busy. They go to voicemail. The display will change slightly to let you know you are not accepting calls. Press D&D to return it back. Sometimes you may see a key labeled Menu. Menu lets you know that there are additional functions available, as in more than 4. Pressing this key doesn't do anything on its own, but it will change the labels of the other 3 soft keys to reveal additional options. Functions such as hold, transfer, and voicemail can be accessed via soft keys, hard keys, or menu buttons as desired. The system doesn't have a preference. Lastly, the soft keys are context sensitive, and only the functions available in that mode will appear.